Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most critical aspects of Roblox hunters, the skill system. Now, you might be thinking, I've got the best sword, I'm good to go. But trust me, it doesn't matter how sharp your blade is if you're swinging it like a potato. Skills are what define your power, your survivability, your style. We've tested every skill currently available in Hunters. Not just in theory, not just on paper, but in real dungeon runs, PvE fights, and under pressure. And today, I'm bringing you the ultimate skill tier list, ranked from D tier all the way up to S tier. Each tier tells a different story, and some of these skills, well, they might just be setting you up to fail. So whether you're new to the game or you've been grinding since launch, this guide is going to help you understand exactly which skills to equip and which ones to throw straight into the digital trash. And one more thing, this list is based on real in-game performance, not just stats. So if a skill looks good on paper but falls apart when the mobs close in, it's not making it past C tier. No favoritism here, only brutal, honest rankings. Let's jump in. First, let's quickly talk about how the skill system in Hunters actually works. In this game, skills aren't unlocked through grinding levels or completing missions. Instead, you get them through rolling the gacha, a luck-based system that drops different skills when you spin. Now here's where it gets a bit tricky. Even though all skills technically have the same rarity level, their performance isn't consistent. You can get two versions of the same skill with different damage outputs. So it's not just about which skill you have, but how strong it is. Also, cooldowns are shared across all hotbar slots where the same skill is equipped. So stacking the same ability multiple times is a waste. The smart move is to equip the strongest version of each unique skill you own and make the most of every cooldown window. Finally, keep in mind that you can only use the skills associated with your currently equipped weapon. So if you're rocking a staff, you won't be casting dagger skills. Obvious, but easy to forget when you're in the heat of battle. Alright, now that we understand how the system works, it's time to separate the legends from the liabilities. Let's start at D tier, the bottom of the barrel. The skills down here are either too weak, too slow, or just plain outclassed by better options. These are the ones you should avoid unless you have absolutely no other choice. Horizontal slash, using with greatsword. Now, I'm not saying this ability is useless, but okay, yeah, I am. Horizontal slash is what you get when a skill designer gives up halfway. You lift your massive greatsword, bring it crashing down, and nothing. No shockwave, no area damage, no satisfying impact. It looks cool, but it hits like a damp sponge. The animation locks you in place for just long enough to get smacked by 3 enemies and a fireball. And the worst part, it doesn't even have any kind of lingering effect. No burn, no bleed, not even a stun. It's a glorified basic attack with an inflated cooldown. If you're using this skill in your rotation, you're basically nerfing yourself. Swap it out the moment you get literally anything better. Next we have C tier. Skills in this tier aren't outright terrible, but they definitely underperform. Maybe they have clunky animations or just don't synergize well with current meta builds. Use them only if you're desperate. Vertical slash, using with greatsword. Vertical slash tries to be powerful, and to be fair, it is a bit stronger than horizontal slash. But it's still slow, awkward, and leaves you open like a discount training dummy. The hitbox is narrow, and timing it properly in the middle of a chaotic mob fight? Nearly impossible. It does hit a bit harder, yes, but the trade-off isn't worth it. This skill would be decent if it had any kind of crowd control effect, but without stun, knockback, or a follow-up combo opportunity, it ends up just feeling sluggish and unsatisfying. If you're using a greatsword, you're better off focusing on positioning and your basic attacks rather than relying on this underwhelming skill. Now we are in B tier. These are your average, gets the job done type of skills. They're not flashy, they're not bad, but they won't win you any MVP titles either. Solid, middle-of-the-road abilities. Barrage. Using with sword, Barrage does exactly what it promises. You charge forward, swinging your sword in a wide arc, dealing decent damage to enemies in your path. It's reliable, has decent range, and doesn't have a super long cooldown. But that's about it. No bells, no whistles, no debuffs or cool effects. You press the button, the sword swings, and that's the end of the story. It's a decent clearing tool for early and mid-game dungeons, especially if you're still getting the hang of things. But in higher difficulty content, Barrage starts to fall behind. It just doesn't have the impact or flexibility of A or S tier skills. Sword Trust, using with sword. Sword Trust is another very average performer. You thrust your sword forward in a straight line, dealing respectable damage. It's a single target move, so it shines in boss fights or against tankier enemies. The issue? It's not very versatile. In a game where mobility and area control are everything, a narrow straight line poke doesn't always cut it, especially when you could be using a skill that hits multiple enemies or keeps you mobile. Still, it does its job. Just don't expect fireworks. Now we're talking the A tier. These skills are strong, reliable, and can carry you through most of the game. They might not be game-breaking, but they're definitely worth using. Execution, using with dagger. Execution is fast, flashy, and incredibly useful. With this skill, you rush forward, slash enemies multiple times, and then bounce back to safety. It's great for engaging enemies just outside your melee range, and even better for escaping when things get dicey. What makes execution shine is its tempo. It's a skill that keeps you moving. And in a game like Hunters, where standing still is usually a death sentence, that kind of mobility is golden. You can use it to dive into a mob, deal damage, and instantly reposition yourself. Or you can use it to chase down low-health enemies before they escape. The versatility alone makes this an A-tier contender. Dagger Stab, using with dagger. Dagger Stab is your classic area clear skill, a flurry of quick swipes that hits multiple enemies in close proximity. It doesn't have the same movement as execution, but it makes up for it with raw efficiency. It's especially useful when you're getting surrounded. Pop Dagger Stab and you can shred through enemies before they have a chance to lock you down. It's not as flashy as some of the higher tier abilities, but it's consistent, and that counts for a lot. Overall, both dagger skills are great picks. Use them right, and you can dominate most encounters. And here we are, the best of the best, the S tier. These skills don't just work well, they define the current meta. If you have them, use them. If you don't, roll the gacha until you do. Fireball, using with staff. This is it. The one skill that changes everything. Fireball is currently the only range damage dealing ability in the entire game, and that makes it a game changer. You can clear dungeons from a distance, kite enemies endlessly, and completely bypass melee-focused threats. Fireball lets you play smart, safe, and efficient. It's powerful, has a wide hitbox, and is ridiculously satisfying to use. It's especially broken in solo play. You can take out waves of enemies without taking a single hit. And even in team settings, having at least one fireball user gives your group a huge tactical edge. The cooldown is fair, the animation is smooth, and the value off the charts. Heal, using with staff. Heal is the second S-tier powerhouse, and for good reason. In Hunters, healing options are limited, health pickups are rare, and potions don't always cut it. That makes heal essential. It might not be flashy, but it's the one button that can save your entire run. Took a big hit? Heal. Team is getting overwhelmed? Heal. Boss just did a surprise AoE? You get the idea. What makes heal so strong is its simplicity and reliability. You don't need to time it perfectly. You don't need to combo it with anything. You just stop, heal, and keep going. Together, Fireball and Heal make the staff weapon class easily the strongest in the game right now. If you're lucky enough to get both, congratulations. You're basically unkillable. And there you have it, the ultimate Roblox Hunter skill tier list, from D to S tier. If you made it this far, you now know exactly which skills are worth your time and which ones are better left in the gacha graveyard. Remember, this tier list is based on real gameplay, not theory crafting, not community hype, just raw, tested, practical experience. That means things might shift with future updates, new skills, or balance patches. But for now, this is the definitive ranking. So now it's your turn. What skills are carrying your runs? Do you agree with the rankings, or are you about to go full keyboard warrior in the comments? Let me know below. And hey, if this video helped you out even a little, consider dropping a like, subscribing, and turning on that bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. We've got more tier lists, meta builds, and secret tips coming your way. Until then, good luck in your hunts. And remember, the right skill at the right time can make all the difference. Peace out.